Look around you. Most men are not actually living their lives. They are just going through the motions. They wake up, check their phone, drag themselves through the day, and fall asleep, only to do the exact same thing tomorrow. They have a routine, but a routine is not a life. It is a loop, and most men are stuck in that loop without even knowing it. The question is, are you one of them? Something brought you here today. Maybe it was frustration. Maybe it was that quiet feeling deep inside that you are meant for more than what your current life is showing you. That feeling is not random. That is your mind trying to wake you up. What you are about to hear is not a pep talk. Pep talks wear off by lunch. What this is a system, a code, a set of principles built on one of the sharpest minds in history, Machiavelli. A man who did not talk about power like it was a fantasy. He studied it like a science. If you are ready to stop drifting and start building, stay with me, because this changes today. Wake up and see where you really are. The very first step in this code is the hardest one for most men, and also the most important. You need to look at your life exactly as it is right now. Not what it used to be, not what you are planning for it to become, but what it actually is today. Most men avoid this. They stay busy on purpose because busyness keeps them from having to be honest with themselves. They fill every quiet moment with noise, social media, TV, conversations that go nowhere, because silence would force them to sit with the truth. And the truth is uncomfortable. Most men are not where they want to be. And the reason they are not there is because they have never clearly faced the gap between where they are and where they need to go. Machiavelli was ruthlessly honest about the world and about people. He did not dress things up. He did not soften reality to make it feel better. He looked at things exactly as they were, and that clarity gave him power. That same clarity is available to you, but only if you are willing to drop the excuses, stop blaming the world, and take a cold, honest look at your current position. Where are you financially? Where are you physically? Where are you mentally? Are your habits pushing you forward or pulling you under? This is not about shame. This is about awareness, and awareness is the beginning of everything. You cannot fix what you refuse to see. The enemy living inside your own head. Before you can win anything out there in the world, you need to win the fight that is already happening inside you. This is the part that nobody wants to talk about. Everyone is obsessed with tactics. How to make more money, how to build influence, how to attract the right people. But they skip the most important question. What is going on inside your own mind that is holding you back? Here is the truth. Your biggest opponent is not a person. It is not your boss, your competition, or your circumstances. Your biggest opponent is the version of you that keeps choosing comfort when you should be choosing growth. That version of you is clever. He sounds just like you. He uses your own voice, your own memories, your own past failures as weapons against your potential. He tells you the timing is not right. He tells you you are not ready. He tells you to wait just a little longer. And most men listen to him every single day. They call it being realistic. They call it being wise. But what it actually is fear wearing a disguise. Machiavelli studied men who became stronger under pressure, not weaker. He understood that true strength is not built in comfort. It is built in the moments where you feel the resistance and you move forward anyway. Every habit that is making you softer needs to be identified. Every excuse you use to avoid discomfort needs to be cut away. Every environment, every relationship, every daily routine that is slowly pulling you downward needs to be looked at clearly, not emotionally, but strategically. Win the war inside your own mind first. Everything else becomes easier after that. Put yourself first. without feeling guilty about it. There is a belief that has been quietly drilled into men for a long time that putting yourself first is selfish, that prioritizing your own growth over someone else's comfort makes you a bad person, that a good man makes himself available to everyone all the time, without question. That belief is a trap, and it has kept a lot of capable men small. Machiavelli understood this clearly. A man who does not prioritize himself does not become a saint. He becomes a tool, useful to everyone around him, but owned by none of them, valued by none of them, and eventually replaced by all of them. The men who give and give and give without any boundary do not get rewarded for their sacrifice. They get taken for granted. They confuse being needed with being respected. And those are two very different things. Prioritizing yourself means protecting your time like it is your most valuable resource, because it is. It means making decisions based on your own direction, not based on managing other people's emotions. It means being comfortable with disappointing people who were only comfortable with you when you were operating below your potential. It means taking care of your body, your mind, your sleep, your diet, and your mental clarity, not as luxuries, but as requirements for the man you are building yourself into. And it means cutting off anything, any habit, any person, environment that consistently drains your energy without giving anything back. This is not arrogance. This is not selfishness. This is the foundation that every strong man is built on. Because a man with no relationship to his own worth cannot build anything that lasts. Know your value, live by it, and let the world adjust. Silence is more powerful than anything you could say. Most men talk too much. They explain themselves constantly. They justify their decisions to people who never asked. They announce their plans before anything has even started. They think that words build their image. But more often than not, words are tearing it down. Machiavelli understood something that very few people figure out. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is strategy. And in a world where everyone is talking over each other, the man who says less becomes the most interesting person in the room. When you cannot be read, when people cannot predict your next move, cannot figure out your reaction, cannot put you into a neat category. They pay more attention to you. They give you more credit. They assume you are carrying more than you are showing. And that assumption creates influence without you ever having to demand it. Think about how many times you have over-explained yourself to someone who had already made up their mind about you. Think about how many arguments you have gotten into defending your worth to someone who never intended to recognize it. Every single one of those moments drained something from you and gave nothing back. The Machiavellian man does not argue. He observes. He does not react immediately. He calculates. He does not announce what he is doing next. He does it and lets the results speak. Beyond strategy, silence also does something powerful to your inner world. It sharpens your thinking. It gives you space to actually notice what is happening around you. The man who is always talking is never truly watching. The man who stays quiet sees everything. The subtle shifts in tone, the inconsistencies in what people say versus what they do, the dynamics that most people miss entirely. Speak less, see more, and let your results make more noise than your words ever could. Build yourself into someone who cannot be replaced. Mediocrity is comfortable. That is the danger of it. It never demands anything from you. It never asks you to sacrifice, to push through discomfort, or to show up when you do not feel like it. It just holds the door open and whispers, "Not today. You have time. You have already done enough." And millions of men walk through that door every single morning. Machiavelli did not write his code for those men. He wrote it for the man who looks at time as something that cannot be wasted, because the world does not pause while you figure things out. You are either moving forward or falling behind. There is no standing still. So here is the honest question. What are you actually building right now? Not what you plan to build, not what you will build once things calm down. But what are you constructing today with your time, your decisions, your habits, and your attention? Every day is either a deposit toward the man you are becoming or a withdrawal from him. There is no neutral option. The man Machiavelli respected most was the man who made himself genuinely valuable. Not through performance, not through telling people how capable he was, but through relentless, consistent development of real skills, real knowledge, real discipline, and real results. Build your body like it is a tool you may one day depend on. Build your mind like it is a fortress that no outside chaos can break into. Build your skills like your survival depends on them, because at some point it will. Build your emotional control until you can make clear, smart decisions, even when everything around you is falling apart. Build your reputation through consistent action over time, until it walks into the room before you do. The man who builds himself into something genuinely rare does not have to chase opportunities. Opportunities find him. He does not have to demand respect. People cannot afford not to give it. Because replacing him is not simple. That is the real position of power. Not dominance, irreplaceability. Start today. The man you are trying to become has been waiting long enough. Control your emotions before they control your life. Every empire that has ever fallen apart fell from the inside first. Every man who has ever been destroyed was defeated inside his own mind before the outside world ever got involved. This is not a metaphor. It is a pattern repeated throughout all of human history. And Machiavelli documented it with the precision of a man who refused to ignore what he saw. Emotional weakness is not just a personal flaw. It is a vulnerability. And the world, the people around you, the situations you face, will find that weakness with terrifying accuracy. Not necessarily out of cruelty, just out of the natural human tendency to use every advantage available. Most men believe they have their emotions under control. They do not. They just have not been tested at the level that would expose the truth. Give a man real pressure, real loss, real betrayal, real failure, and watch what lives beneath the surface. Watch how fast all that controlled composure dissolves when emotion takes the wheel. Watch how quickly a man makes decisions from a place of pain instead of a place of power. And those decisions, the reactive, emotionally driven ones, are the ones that destroy careers, burn bridges, collapse relationships, and undo in a single moment what took years to carefully build. Machiavelli's most dangerous man was never the most aggressive one. It was always the most controlled one. The man who can feel everything and show nothing. The man who can absorb a betrayal without flinching. The man who can sit inside a storm and still make precise, clear decisions while everyone around him is falling apart. True emotional control is not about becoming emotionless. Suppression is not mastery. A man who buries his emotions is just a pressure cooker, functional until the moment he is not. Real mastery means you can feel the full weight of an emotion, the anger, the hurt, the fear, and still consciously choose your response instead of unconsciously surrendering to your reaction. It means training yourself to pause before you respond to anything that provokes you and ask one question. Is this reaction serving my vision, or is it serving my wound? Those are the only two options. In every charged moment, you are either moving from power or moving from pain. Choose power. every single time. Your circle is either your launch pad or your ceiling. Your circle shapes your ceiling. The people around you are either pushing you higher or quietly holding you back. You absorb their habits, their limits, and their beliefs about what is possible. Look honestly at who surrounds you, who challenges you, who drains you, who smiles at your success but fades when you start winning. Cut the anchors, not with anger, just with direction. Build a circle that forces you to grow, because no man rises alone, but only the right men rise together. Become unreadable. Become unstoppable. Power is not loud. The most dangerous men in history were the most unreadable ones. When people can predict you, they can control you. When they know your fears and desires, they hold a weapon against you. Becoming unreadable is not about being fake. It is about depth. Reveal only what serves you. Hold back everything else. Speak less than you know. Show less than you feel. When people cannot figure you out, they pay attention. Mystery creates influence that no performance ever can. The man no one can ignore. This is where everything comes together. The man no one can ignore does not demand attention. He earns it through consistent, silent, disciplined work. He walks into a room and the energy shifts. He speaks and people listen. Not because he is loud, but because his actions have already spoken louder than his words ever could. He is built from every hard choice made when no one was watching. That man is not a myth. He is the result of this code, applied daily without excuses.